Let me just tell you, Mason Thames and Madeline McGraw are amazing. I just legitimately might be considering at least Mason for my end of the year top 10 performances. No shit. I'm John Stark from BackTheMovieGuy.com, and this is my review of The Black Phone. I'm going to try to keep this spoiler free because, my God, I fucking loved this movie. I'm a blind film critic. So horror movies can be a little bit of a mixed bag because a lot of times you're supposed to get the gore or the scary image behind you to scare you, to get that good jump scare in there. But actually, the narration here did a really good job of that. Like, I was creeped the fuck out the whole film. I honestly, I guess I think most people have liked this film. I know there are a few people who like they're always snobs with horror films. They're always like, it didn't do it for me. I saw the ending coming a mile away. Actually, I saw the poster and I was like, okay, this is how the movie ends. I already know. I mean, it's like, yeah, I guess you could go there, but then you're not going for the ride. It's like going into the theme park and you see where the line goes in and you see where the line comes out. So you know that the roller coaster has an ending, and like, I guess the people on the roller coaster didn't die. So you're like, oh, I know how the roller coaster happens. It's like, but do you? I mean, just by looking at it, I think you're supposed to ride the roller coaster. This is directed by Scott Derrickson, who gave us Sinister, and also Doctor Strange. And I remember mentioning recently, when I did my second look at Doctor Strange before the sequel came out, I was like, I don't know why Scott Derrickson isn't directing the sequel. He hasn't really been up to much. Like, Doctor Strange didn't really like jumpstart a new career for him. But man, I hope this film does, because this is one of my favorite films of the year. And it's outside of a genre that I typically do not go. I typically don't come in here with scary horror films and go, this is one of my favorite films of the year. So that says a lot for me. I loved this film. I thought Mason was incredible as the lead. He has to do everything. He does all the heavy lifting in his film. On the range of emotions, he's in almost every scene in this film. Madison, who plays his sister, Madeline, or whatever I said, she's in quite a bit of the film, but it's Mason that really carries the film here. Basically, the short, quick story without spoilers is this is set in the 70s, back when parents used to tell their kids never talk to strangers. Don't get too close to a van, don't trust anybody with vans. And it really plays up that concept. And there's this little neighborhood that's being affected by the grabber, who keeps grabbing these kids and throwing them in their van, and then they're never heard from again. And we start out with a brother and a sister, main characters. Their dad is Jeremy Davies, who I was like, oh my God, Jeremy Davies is still acting. And we kind of go through the motions with their home life. It's not great. Mom is not there anymore. Dad is not a good dad. I'm not going to say he's the worst dad in the world, but Dad could definitely use some classes on dadism. On fatherhood. These kids don't necessarily have the best home life. However, they get really still optimistic for kids. Even though kids have gone missing in their neighborhood and there are posters up looking for them, like, has anybody seen my kid? And there are an unusual amount of bullies for this neighborhood and for this school. I mean, seriously, that maybe might have been my one thing. Is I was like, damn, is everyone a bully in this movie? There's just this is like I guess a tough neighborhood where every kid just likes to fight because everyone is on some level way tougher than Miles, and I think that's a point that Scott Derrickson was trying to make, was that all these kids have these street toughness in him, but Miles is not. He's just kind of a smart kid who's sensitive, and luckily he's got this one friend that's looking out for him, and he can fight, and other kids are scared of him. So he's got some protection, but still some kids just randomly want to kick his ass. And the film kind of progresses to a point where one day, after 5 kids have already been captured, the grabber grabs our main boy, played by Miles. So he finds himself, Finney, his character's name, I was thinking so hard. Finney finds himself suddenly in a soundproof basement with a creepy dude with a mask with interchangeable tops and bottoms. So like he can put on, it's a stagnant face, so he can have like no mouth, he can have like a happy mouth, he can have a frowny mouth. It's kind of creepy. So he lets you know what kind of mood he's in by changing his mask. And Finney's in this basement, and he's pretty sure he's gonna die. And reality is setting in, and there really isn't much in there. There's a bed. He's got a bathroom with a toilet, and just a couple other things. But there's a black phone. Now, the black phone doesn't work. The cord has been cut. However, Finney starts receiving these phone calls from a phone that doesn't work. And that's where the film gets interesting. Because who's on the other end of that phone? The other kids. The kids who didn't make it out. They're here to offer Finney their lessons learned from being in the same position so that Finney can get out. So that way their deaths were not in vain. And that is the sad part, and also the incredible part about the film is each one of these calls Finney has with each one of these kids gives him sort of like a different thing, and they all build towards this ending. And I gotta say, like, I don't want to tell you about the calls, I don't want to tell you about anything else, but I gotta say, there were moments I really did not know where this movie was going to end. I thought Scott Derrickson could go for a gut punch, or we could go for a happy ending. I really did not know, and I won't tell you how the film ends. And because that was one of the best parts, is that he found ways of twisting the story around. There's even a twist about the house and the situation, just little things, little details, things that I hadn't quite guessed or put together. The film does require you to take just sort of a leap with it. The sister has visions about where Finney is, and she's seeing things. She prays a lot, and she has visions, and so she's trying to piece together the visions to try to figure out what house her brother is being kept in. And of course the phone calls from beyond the grave. That's a supernatural element. So it is a little supernatural, but the grabber themselves is not supernatural. He's just everything your parents warned you about when you were a child. This makes you really just go, damn, I'm glad I stayed away from vans when I was a kid playing outside. Shit. Yeah, this is a creepy film, and I loved the ride. I'm so grateful. Scott Derrickson did a hell of a job directing the shit out of this film. Miles does an amazing job in the lead role here. Child actor, just man, he pulls you in. He's adorable and cute enough to rein you in as a lead protagonist, but also just everything that he has to go through, the fear, the scared, the tough, the crying, they threw everything at this kid. He does a great job with it, and I hope we see a lot more from him in the future. So again, audio description on this I thought was really well done. There was something about it, the way that it was written and the way that everything lands. Sometimes with audio description, when there's a jump scare, we get told about the jump scare before it aligns properly with the music, and it's a little bit too much before. So like, you're like, the camera pans to show a man standing behind him, and then like it's like 3 seconds go by, and then you hear the but no, everything felt really well timed here and put together. It's such a shame that Peacock only lets you watch like 1 second of credits before it just puts you into something else. Like I heard it said like end credits or something like that was what it said, and then it said like casting supervisor, and then it was out. I don't even think I heard who the casting supervisor was. It just was in. I just started loading another thing, and 1 second of credits was all I got. It's just, so I have no idea who did the narration for this, but great job. I definitely recommend this film. I recommend this film to anybody, whether you can see or not see. This is one of my favorite films of the year, easily, hands down. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the year rolls out. It's August, and I still have September, October, November, December, plus some films that I haven't seen yet that have already been released I have to catch up on. So, will The Black Phone be in my top 10 for the end of the year? I don't know. Is it my favorite film of the year so far? Yes. Yep. I'm gonna put this at number 1 right now. It has been The Outfit ever since I saw The Outfit, oddly enough, on Peacock. I saw The Outfit back in May, I think, when that came out on Peacock. And that became my favorite film of the year. It has been, and I've seen like 50 films since I've seen The Outfit, and nothing has beaten that for me. But The Black Phone, I just can't stop thinking about it, and I love it so much. And it's outside my genre. Like, this is not something that is even catered toward me. So anyway, check it out. I'm going to give The Black Phone an A. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a like and a subscribe. You can go to macthemovieguy.com for more reviews. The Audio Description Project will let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And theaudna.org will let you know who's narrating things. And like the resumes. It's like IMDb, but for narrators. That's it for me today. Hopefully you enjoy The Black Phone. If it's ringing, pick it up.